Holla, ballers and a bro fist to you all. A good Friday, I wish, upon all of you people around the world. Thank you so much for joining us. We did have a break this afternoon and have come back to worship at the throne of drama around the world, around our internet global economy. There are people out there causing all kinds of trouble, causing all kinds of problems, and generally behaving in ways they never would in the real world unless they're absolute buffoons, which some people are, as we know. Some people are. The end of yet another tremendous week. Back from the Americas, back from Blizzard HQ, and preparing for all kinds of great stuff, including the live letter, which took place today for Final Fantasy. I've put it down below. We will be, and this is mainly to our YouTube audience, as of course our live audience is very aware of this, we will be at FanFest London next year. We will make sure that we get as many of the PG team down there to celebrate in the world of Final Fantasy with you guys. There is no BlizzCon on the horizon, as far as I know. I asked, but nobody was spilling the beans about when BlizzCon may or may not return. We are going to try and get to Las Vegas FanFest for Team America, but it is a really, really bad time, unfortunately. But we'll know. Who knows? Who knows? Anything could happen between now and then as we go into next year, as whether we'll get over and see what's going on over at Las Vegas FanFest, where they're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. Murica, yeah, I'm not going to Las Vegas with you, Isaac. That would be a mission. Although we did get to have a wonderful dinner with Isaac. Wonderful guy. He drove, was it 4.5 hours from San Francisco to come and have dinner with us when we were in California? We didn't know it was that far away. We had no idea that you were driving so far, but we did get to sit and have dinner. Absolute Giga Chad drove like 4.5 hours. I just sent him a message saying, hey, I have to let you know we're going to be in California, and if you're nearby, maybe we can have dinner. Fucking Chad drives down with his girlfriend. You were really keen on it being a good idea. It's because I like you. As disgusting as you've been to me in the past, although you did provide gifts, which also included leather waistcoats and wristbands and things like that. I do like spending time with you, Isaac. I have met, interestingly enough, out of all the people I've met, which include a lot of people here, I've met many, many, many of the people talking here. I think I have met Isaac more than anyone in terms of somebody who started off as a viewer at some point. Besides, like, Chris, obviously, and Augers and Bex and things like that. But Isaac, I think, and the interesting thing is, he lives in San Francisco. He lives on the other side of the fucking globe. Yet we've spent many, many an hour together with many drinks in hand. I exposed Chris, before we get into today's drama stories, to something horrible. As you may know, we are putting together this video of this visit that we made to Blizzard, and it's very tiring and stressful, and Chris has been working very hard on it. But I just took him down the rabbit hole of remembering some of the things that we've been through in our days of World of Warcraft. And I imagine most of you also don't remember them, as I didn't either, as to exactly how much shit we had to do in Mists of Pandaria and Walls of Draenor to get our legendary items, and we just relived it together, going through the whole thing with the Black Prince and reputations that were sealed until they released their next daily area, so you couldn't even prepare for it in any way, shape, or form. Anybody remember exactly how many Apex's crystals casuals had to farm in Walls of Draenor to get their legendaries? You forgot the legendary items in MoP? It's for the best. It's really for the best. If you ever want to remind yourself, I would go through it. Nope. Low. Keep going. Tens of thousands. Nope. Tens of thousands. Those are rookie numbers. Absolute rookie numbers. It was about, from what we're reading, if you were a casual, it was about 300,000 Apex's crystals that you had to farm in order to get your legendary ring. Just 300,000. That's what you needed to do. Spread out over weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Yeah, and for those of you who did that back then, that memory is forever burned away. That memory is forever burned away from your minds, as your brain has done you the favor of removing that memory from you so you can live in a better dreams. It didn't feel like that many. If you were a raider, you had to do some less. We also remembered that you had to buy your reroll coins, and it kept getting increasingly more expensive. So it's like, I think it was 500 gold, Chris, then 1,000 gold, and then 2,000 gold. or the same with everything else? Ah, yes. I definitely did that. I definitely did that. There are thousands of gold or thousands of garrison resources or whatever, just constantly just throwing it at you. Oh my God. Like reliving that whole thing was, oh, the submarine thing is the absolute worst. I forgot exactly how bad it was, the submarine thing, but it's so bad. It's so bad. It really is. Like, the shipyard. Yeah, the shipyard. They really wanted you to do the shipyard. Like, I would think now after talking to them and having a slight understanding of how they work is they probably feared that nobody would do the shipyard. And so everybody must do the I'm going to have to share this with you. Sorry, Drama Time listeners, but I have to share this with you. All right, so it was the last one. Here it is. The time spent. There's a lot of variation, and there's catch-up quests that go along with it. But if you want to minimize your time raiding, you just have to get 240,000 Apexis crystals over 12 weeks. So it's really up to you. You want to raid a lot, or do you just want to get 240,000 Apexis crystals? It's your choice. It's your choice. Yeah, you can do that. But it gets so much better from there. Oh, it does. It just gets so much better when you get down to the shipyard part. Oh, it's so good. So good. So the final part of the quest to get the ring was 77 boss kills, assuming a 50% drop rate. Anybody who did this will know that 50% is a fucking lie, and you would never get a 50% drop rate. Oh, so good. But the first step of this, was Command of the Seas, where you had to upgrade your shipyard to level 2. Couldn't ignore it. You had to level that damn thing up. Upgraded the fleet was a quest you then had to complete, which needed 1,000 gold, 1,000 garrison resources, and to complete 15 naval missions. So you had to use the mission table. There was no choice in it. You had to do it. Then you got the next quest, which would give you the Dranic Sea Chart. These missions took 2 days each. Do you remember this now? You could have it if you had a Blood Elf crew or a Night Elf crew. Remember, your ships came with various stats. So you had to do these missions, a chain of naval missions that took 2 days each. And then the fourth mission required Honored, so you had to farm the reputation of Tanaan Jungle. That's right. Didn't want to do Tanaan Jungle? Didn't need anything from Tanaan Jungle? Well, fuck you, because you're getting Honored at least. You better get in there and you better go start doing it. Then you got the final mission, Boarding the Master's Call, which required a level 3 shipyard. So you better upgrade it because you needed to build a carrier to go along with it. That required you to do 25 naval treasure missions and give them 2,500 gold and give them 2,500 garrison resources. And these missions were also not particularly easy. You had to make sure you had appropriate crews in order to do it. But then after that, things get much easier, where you just need to farm 33 drops from bosses inside the raid. Oh, what a fun time. What an absolute fun time. What an absolute fun time. Oh, it was absolutely the best, right? It really was the best of times just to do all that shit. You can tell the fear they had back then of you not doing their content they're making and like forcing it on you. Like if you look, you might not want to do it. You might not even like it, but you are going to do it because we've made it and you are absolutely going to take part in it. But that's not why we're here today. And thankfully, that is what's going away in Dragonflight from what we can see. I don't remember any of it. Dude, the worst part is I would guess. I was talking about the reroll coins, right? The reroll coins. So I had 10 characters in WoD, and I did stuff with them pretty much every week. And which means I probably had to buy somewhere in the realm of like 3,000 reroll coins over the course of WoD's Draenor. I have no idea where that NPC is. I saw a video with Chris of where it is, and I do not remember ever visiting the guy. My brain has literally, like someone searing a cigarette onto my brain, removed all memory of that ever happening. I had no idea. I looked at it, I was like, I don't remember doing this, but I must have visited that guy 10 times a week for like 2 years or something. Yes, he is in Warspear, which is apparently the main city. Trauma? A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. You could get reroll tokens, but you could get one from the mission table. We actually watched a Bellula video from 8 years ago. It's quality. I'm not going to show it here because, Michael, Your footage that you showed in that video is the worst thing I've ever seen. And me and Chris were both laughing, but I am guilty of the same thing. But that video is fucking awful. It's so bad. It's so bad. That's on mine back then as well. It's so bad. His opening clip is him falling off a ledge and getting stuck in a rock while he's trying to explain where he's supposed to go. It's like, you've got to go here, falls off a ledge, gets stuck in a rock, and he's like stuck trying to get out. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's like, well, it was like 8 year ago YouTube, you know? Mine are fucking bad as well, dude. Mine are fucking bad. I've got some bad clips in mine as well. We were just like, dude, why would we even put this out? Fuck me. It was a different time. It was a different time. But that's not why you're here today. Let's have some fun. We have got a number of stories which our wonderful Lady Bex has gone through for us, which has a ton of names in it. I don't recognize any of these names. Yes. So we have these people. Who are these? Thank you for your support. Appreciate it. Yeah, these new people. Oh no. From what I can tell from the descriptions here, Yusha, you've got off the lightest, actually. There's descriptions that come with each of these names. I'll tell you them in a moment. Because the title of this story that we're going to start off our lovely Friday afternoon with is The Dodgy Dutchwoman. Now, there are a lot of Dutchies in our chat. As I said, I've met many of them. There are a lot of Dutchies in our chat. So I will again remind the chats and the listeners, these are not my stories. Okay? These are stories that happen to other people in the community that they share with us. I do not hate the Dutch. I have visited there many times. I've celebrated there. I quite like the Dutch. But here we are. So we have Yusha, who is a Dutch friend of our author. We have Lionheart X, who is Yusha's wife. I remind the chat that our good Lady Bex supplied these names to the members of the story. We have Halix, who is a Swee friend. We have Weasel, who is a Norwegian cunt. Kitchen Appliance, who will be our GM for this story, and Jaholan, who will be the raid leader of this story. Okay? Yes, it is Bex who applies the names to this story. I get them in a nice list already prepared for me to make sure that every one of our website supporters whose names are in these stories all get their equal measure. So if you want your name in Drama Time, check out our website. You can be on it. Greetings, Preacher, from the mighty Kingdom of the Swees, where the girls are beautiful and the weather is awful. Praise be. Can't have the good without the bad. I have been a binge watcher of Drama Time for quite some years now, and I've always wanted to write my own story. Due to some recent events occurring in my ex-guild, I was finally inspired to write you in. Do any of you... Okay, look, you guys shouldn't be hoping that your guild falls apart so you can write as a story, right? Don't be like, finally. It's happening. And I'm going to jot it all down, moment by moment, right? Moment by moment. I hope you and your fellow chat enjoys my tale. Will we be raiding in a guild in Dragonflight? We'll probably put a community guild together. Yes. I have no plans right now for mythic raiding. A lot of my old mythic friends have all dispersed, obviously, with the death of our guild or don't play the game anymore. But we'll probably be doing some crawling with people who want to take part and some content creators and things like that. Ragnaros EU is where Zeppela's moved her characters to. It's where my characters are. So we'll probably be doing something there in order to do some raiding. Chapter 1. PvP, mate. Mate, excuse me. You want a PvP? You see, Preacher, I have played WoW since I was a wee boy. Exactly 7 years old. Oh. I began my journey in the mighty Burning Crusade, but I was dog shit. The first character I ever made was, of course, a Blood Elf Hunter, as is known, on the same realm as my father so we could play together. To put it simply, my dad refused to teach me how to play this game. Chad. Yeah, you can play. Just don't ask me anything. The only thing my dad ever taught me was that to save inventory space, I should mail him any green-blue items I found. That's low. That's really low. That's low. That's very low, right? He would disenchant them and make gold for himself, which he, of course, would not share with me. But my favorite thing to do, a young 7-year-old, was tame cool hunter pets. I loved walking around Orgrimmar and looking at different pets that other hunters had and whispering people as to how to get them. I remember one time in Orgrimmar when I saw a fellow hunter with an Arctic fox as a pet. I love foxes. I had a regular red one myself, but I wanted that snowy one. So I asked my dad if he could whisper him in case it wasn't safe. Good job. Good job. Ask him, where could I get the Arctic fox? Winter spring, he said. I searched for the zone for about 5 minutes until I saw it on the map. It's a long way away, I thought. I ran to the edge of the Ajara zone north of Durator and proceeded to mountain climb all the way to Winter Spring. Can you even make that? After many hours and many deaths of falling, I made it. Can you get up? Has anybody tried getting up the side of the Vashara wall into Winter Spring? Well, I assume... I don't know what level he is. Oh, it does say later. He's 48. You can probably clip up there eventually, but that sucks. I mean, there's a quest, dude. Now, I was going to tame my mighty fox. I found it. And oh god, I was so ready. I clicked the tame button, but nothing happened. Papa? 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 Why can't I tame yonder fox? Son, you cannot tame a pet which is higher level than you are. I was crushed. I was level 48 at the time. And the fox 58. It also explains why I was being one-shot by all the mobs on the way to the fox. But I got better. And let's go forward to Legion. My friend Halix told me that he had found a PvP guild. Awesome, I thought. I'd always wanted to do some rated battlegrounds or RBGs with a guild. He invited me right away. Some weeks passed by and we did a fair amount of RBGs and honestly had some fun, even though it was a cesspool guild, I know now, with a lot of shitters in it. Some of them were okay though. Halix introduced me to a new friend he had made in the guild. His name was Yusha. And he was Dutch. And as stereotypes go, he was very friendly and surprisingly good at English. Me, Halix, and Yusha played all of them RBGs, talking about new tactics, but we never got past Stoneguard title, which is 1600 rating. Oh, dude. 1600? Oh, no. Stay strong, brother. Stay strong. The guild started to collapse. However, at the end of Legion, due to the GM having a child and therefore couldn't organize our runs anymore, the rest of the members in the guild were just either too scared or too clueless on how to organize RBG groups. So we just thought, fuck it, and left. The 14th of August, 2018 rolls around. And with it comes the ultimate war. The battle for Azeroth itself. We're all in Discord waiting for that clock to strike 12. Shitting our pants. The hype being sat in voice comms with everybody was very real. The expansion launched and we all rushed to get our characters to 120. I played an outlaw rogue since word around the block was that it was going to be the class for M+. I hit 120 around 8 a.m. and that was when I realized I fucking hate BFA. Jesus Christ, it took 8 hours and it was the leveling experience? Jesus Christ, 8 hours? 8 hours and he was done. 8 hours, wow. You see, Preach, I was not a fan of the artifact system in Legion, which naturally led me to despise the Azerite system. Not only that, I couldn't understand Azerite armor. It was confusing. It was too much to keep track of. Every time I clicked things, it would spin around in circles, and I didn't understand what any of the powers did. Oh, Jesus Christ. I just couldn't figure out what to do once I got to level 20. Do I do island expeditions, war fronts, a war campaign? Where's my world quest? Oh my god, you were searching for world quests. Read the tooltips. Do you remember Azerite armor tooltips? They were like paragraphs that just said random damage occurs randomly. They were so bad. They were unbelievably bad. At some point, something will happen that will do something. Choose one. You know, what the fuck? I have no idea. The confusion was just relentless. I couldn't be bothered. So I just quit the game that day. You made it. Wow. I wonder how many... Oh, I wonder if Blizzard would ever tell me the metrics on that. Probably not. How many people literally quit within the first 12 hours of the game? Like, just were like, nope. Just left. I'm out. I'm out. I bought the expansion, I leveled, and I just fucking left immediately. No, they would never tell me, but like, I'd be really interested to see the numbers. I would be interested for every expansion as to how many people make it past a week. I bet it's not a lot. Mike, I got to level 120 and I quit the game immediately. I moved on to more mature games like The Witcher, Skyrim, and Fallout. But, as with everybody, something was missing. And I knew what it was. The itch that always comes back. It was the perps. The feeling of getting them purple pixels. And it didn't help that Shadowlands was announced the 1st of November. Few days into November, I'm browsing Twitch and I'm seeing everybody having fun. And I couldn't resist the urge anymore. I opened up Battle.net. I renewed my subscription. I logged in. As soon as I was there, I purchased Shadowlands. I thought the level boost to 120 will certainly boost my item level higher than my freshly dinged rogue was. You boosted another rogue? You had a 120 rogue, so you boosted another rogue to get gear for leveling? And it was true. Oh no, okay. We're saved, guys. He boosted a DK. Classic PvP player. Boosted a DK. Granted, my item level on my freshly boosted DK was also shit, but it was way, way higher than the rogue that I had left untouched for nearly 2 years. So the grind was on. Essences, Azerite, gear. I did it all. I was determined to like and enjoy this expansion even more, though the hate towards it was insane. While I was doing Mythic Plus with some pugs, I got a message. In the pink. It was Helix. He was excited to see me back and asked me, are you going to be playing for real? Are you going to be playing? I hesitated for a minute before answering him. I felt like John Wick. He felt like John Wick. Since I didn't quite know yet how long the joy of Warcraft was going to last. Where I said, yeah. People keep asking me if I'm back. And I'm thinking I'm back. Do you want to join our guild? We're going to be working on Heroic Eternal Palace, he said. Interesting. You see, I'd never been a raider. But it always looked very fun. I'll give it a try. Yeah, I'll join. But just so you know, I just boosted this DK and my gear is garbage. Mate, no worries, mate. Yusha, his wife, and I'll run you through some Mythic Plus. We'll get you geared in no time. Thanks, friends. I was very excited. I joined the guild and was drenched in welcome by everybody. Even the GM Kitchen Appliance, who was a 50-year-old lady from the UK. What colour is that flag over there? Let's take a look. It's red. It's red. Yep. Thought it was. I could see it. I could see it on the horizon. I was invited to a group consisting of Helix, Yusha, who was a healer, his wife, the monk tank, and Kitchen Appliance, a hunter. As soon as I joined, I got a call on Discord from Helix, a private call. Welcome to the guild, bro. I just had to warn you, do not make any jokes about cheating and troubles in relationships. There's another flag. What is going on? I'm seeing flags everywhere. Are you guys seeing these flags as well? I feel like I'm surrounded by flags. There's just flags going everywhere at this point. What? What? I asked him. Yeah, you see, Lionheart, Yusha's wife, has been cheating with his best friend some time ago. The neighbor. Lion. You absolute hussy. You absolute hussy. Yusha, our love goes out to you in these hard times. And we cannot believe that Lion would do this to you. It's so sad. It is so sad. It's so sad. Preach, I shit you not. I had been in this guild for 5 fucking minutes when I heard this. But whatever. I wasn't going to make jokes about it anyway. Yusha and Lion were working it out and they seem to have handled it well. I mean, they were in the same Mythic Plus group, so it can't be that bad. That's a good tell. That's how you know the relationship is fine. If they can M+ together, they can do anything, right? We can rise above. We can rise above. Okay, I said I won't bring it up. I wasn't going to anyway, but no problem. The raiding was great. Lots of banter in the Discord. Good times all around. Our raid leaders were Helix and Yusha, which I thought was weird when I heard about it, since Helix, who is a very social guy when it comes to close friend groups, is horrible when having to speak to lots of people. As raid leader, the only thing he said was, "Next pack of ads, guys." Yusha was the one leading the raid, but Yusha also had his flaws. He was very quiet and never really spoke. Oh, we got 2 raid leaders who don't talk. Oh, that's awesome. That's really good news. Another flag, though. All he did was sort the groups and then told us to do... And I shit you not, Preacher, his raid leadership was, do what Deadly Boss Mods tells you to do. Et voila! Raid leadership is sorted, my friends. We will simply do whatever Deadly Boss Mods tells us to do. It is simple. Amazingly, we did pretty well. We got to Sakul, and that was when the raiding took a 180. We came to an ultra stop. Well, Deadly Boss Mods doesn't tell you which tentacle's coming out, does it? Rats. We were hard stuck on Sakul till January. Holy fuck. When did you start? November. Oh my god. Until someone... We were dying after the first Delirium Realm, and the raid leaders just couldn't figure out why. Why is Sakul so hard? One night after wiping 5 times to Sakul, someone piped up. It was Jahalan, the main tank, with a chest as muscly as Ross's. He had looked through the logs. Oh shit, he's gone to the logs and saw that we were all dying. Guys, we're all dying to dread. A debuff which needs to be dispelled. You're not dispelling? And you're confused? Nobody... Oh god, how bad are you guys? Jesus fuck. Not only are you not dispelling, nobody's pointing out that the debuff's not being dispelled on them. Oh boy. Yusha did not like this at all. Raid leader Yusha didn't like this. First of all, because he was a priest in charge of dispelling. And secondly, because he said as raid leader, he didn't like being told what to do. There it is. There it is. I can't even carry this ego around. Whoa! Whoa! An argument broke out in the raid. And it ended with Chadalan speaking up and saying, Yusha, please. I've checked the logs. Just let me speak. You're talking over me. And no one talks over Chadalan. Yusha became quiet immediately. 2 seconds later, we heard the disconnect sound from Discord, and Yusha quit the raid group. You fucking fanny, Yusha. You absolute fanny pack. Jesus Christ. You got told to shut the fuck up, and you just left immediately. Wah! Wah! Helix cancelled the raid. Oh my god. Helix cancelled the raid, and politely thanks us all for coming. That's going to be the raid tonight, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next raid night, okay? You take care now. Bye-bye. I was pissed. I'd set aside my entire night to prog. and the raid was cancelled because of this one thing. And what made it worse is we seemingly had figured out why we were dying. We've been wiping on this boss since November. Reminder, it's January. All I wanted was ahead of the curve. That's all I want. After the raid disbanded, I went to the group finder, found a group that was doing Zakul, got invited, one-shot Zakul, killed Ashara, got my ahead of the curve, and I even got a grats in the guild chat for it. Chad. Gangster. That's gangster as fuck. That's giga gangster. I loved... do you remember when I was doing the fresh account series? I just ended up in some group that was full of chads and just one-shot everything. It was so good. So good. The following weeks, my fellow guildies decided to do the same. It had never even occurred to them to try and pug this raid. We had been wiping so hard in Zakul for so long that they didn't even consider that pugs were killing it. But once they saw mine, they started pugging the raid too. Pretty much everyone in the group now had ahead of the curve, all from pugging. So we decided that it would probably be the best if the guild just stopped raiding. So I quit the game in the wait for patch 8.3. Good raid guild, by the way. Good raid guild. We all pugged faster than the guild, so we should probably take a little break. That'll do. But patch 8.3 rolled around, and now we all rushed to get our cloak leveled up. Oh no. Oh god, yeah, you had to get that. Oh, horrific visions. Do you remember when they made us do like 10 horrific visions on a week? Do you remember that? The fuck was that, dude? Do you remember that shit? They were like, okay, you need to do this like 8 fucking times in a row. The problem was, not everyone was enthusiastic to rush ahead and gear up. Me and a couple of the other members were all ready to start raiding, but the majority of the raid team was being slackers. I quit the game again. Raiding was the only thing I found fun in the game. And if my guild's not raiding, I ain't playing. Join a different guild, you fucking dipshit. Just join a different guild. For the love of Christ, you're not beholden to these people, right? They're not your parents. Leave. I quit the game for 2 months. Came back in March and found out they had started heroic raiding again. This time, though, they already had cleared heroic Nazoth. I sent a message to Kitchen Appliance. Told her I was so sorry for leaving without notice. She forgave me and told me to get my ass in the next raid, and I was welcomed back. Things were pretty much the same, except we actually killed the bosses. Our boy Lionheart... our girl Lionheart was still tanking. Yusha was still healing. Kitchen Appliance had even decided that Yohalan was to become the new raid leader, instead of Halix and Yusha, since Halix was too quiet and Yusha was too emotional and cowardly. Match. We also did some roster changes. New players who were way better at the game than our last random invite from general chat roster. One of the new raiders was a rogue called Weasel. He was Norwegian, and I might add, very talkative in Discord. He was always joking around and flirting with our 50-year-old GM lady. Weasel was, of course, in his 20s. But when it came to talking with Yusha, he was way more quiet and serious. I didn't take notice of the fact that he was actually flirting with Lionheart as well at that time, but he was. Yusha didn't seem to care, though, and took it as good old banter with the mates. But it was not the case. Not again, Lion. Twice? Twice, Lion? Even after the initial forgiveness? Scumbaggery. I logged in sometime late in April, getting ready for the raid at 7:45 p.m. Jesus Christ, you start raiding at 8? Yikes, dude, that's so late. I usually get on 20 minutes before we start, just to check if I have flasks and food, etc. When I logged in, I was greeted with something different, though. The guild chat was absolutely spammed to death with G-kicks from Kitchen Appliance. Some of the ones who were kicked were randos who didn't even play the game, so fair enough, maybe it's just a little bit of household cleaning. But then I noticed something else. All of Yusha's characters and Halix's characters were being kicked from the guild. Must be a misclick in the sorting, I guess. Why would she kick 2 of the guild's core raiders for years? I took it to the green as soon as I noticed. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? Why are you kicking everyone, kitchen appliance? I'm just cleaning up some inactive members. Smile. But you're kicking Halix and Yusha and all their alts, I said in confusion. Yusha and Halix told me they won't be raiding with us anymore. Smile. This was odd. I had literally been chatting with Halix and Yusha just the day before and everything was fine. I decided to postpone the conversation with Halix until tomorrow since I had plans to visit him. We did the usual heroic raid without Halix and Yusha. We killed the Zoth and I went to bed. The next day, I visited Halix IRL and I asked him, what the fuck's going on, bro? Are you aware that, like, all yours and Yusha's alts are gone? Kitchen Appliance literally kicked you from the Discord as well. Fuck her, mate. Mate, fuck that bitch, that 50-year-old woman. Who gives a fuck? Bet she smells like piss. Couldn't even care, mate. Couldn't even care. Wait. What? What's going on? I don't get it. You remember that I, like, told you, mate, like, never talk about relationship troubles in the guild, right? Especially when Lion and Yusha are around, right? You remember that, mate? Do you remember I fucking told you, like, day one, mate? Yeah, I remember. Well, she's only fucked someone else, hasn't she? She's got a problem. She's got a problem, her. You know that weasel dude, that Norwegian lad? Ian Lion had been flirting on Snapchat, like. He even sent her a video where he took his towel off after a shower. And of course, she didn't complain at seeing his girthy hog. Yusha, like, caught her though, saw the picture when she left her phone and Snapchat open when she went to the bathroom. He saw everything from fucking belly button to bell end. I was in shock. But I still didn't understand why Halix and Yusha had been kicked from the guild. But why you? Why are you and Yusha kicked? Isn't Weasel the one who's guilty, I asked him. Because, mate, Kitchen Appliance took Lion's side of the story. Yusha had contacted Kitchen Appliance and demanded Weasel be kicked from the guild for sending pics of his weasel. He explained the whole situation to her and told her he had proof and everything, which he did have. When Yusha took Lionheart's phone, he had taken screenshots of the videos and photos they had been sending to each other. Lion, however, had told Kitchen Appliance that Yusha and her had been fighting, and that his story was a lie because he was jealous of Weasel's weasel. So to end the drama as quickly as possible, Kitchen Appliance removed Yusha from the guild in solidarity of girls. And here comes Halix, outraged, arguing with Kitchen Appliance. Halix mentions that there is proof that this is going on. We literally have fucking pictures of this happening. But Kitchen Appliance said she didn't want to look at things like that. Manipulated and doctored photos? No thanks. Halix was going to leave the guild. Kitchen Appliance didn't ever bother to look at the evidence. She but wholeheartedly went with Lion's story, and Halix got kicked. This isn't even the worst part yet, though, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yusha had just bought a brand new house for him and Lion. He had renovated it, built a giant gaming room for both of them on the second floor. Frankly, he had spent a lot of his time and money on them. He was ready to really get settled down, have a baby, and move on with their lives after her cheating. The Snapchat hog call had happened approximately 6 weeks after they had moved into their brand new house. And then they broke up. Halix and I called Yusha on WhatsApp and he sent us the proof that we had. As he sent us the proof. First, we laughed at how utterly unattractive Weasel really was. Oh, that's mean. I don't want to be too... I don't want to be truly mean, but he was really ugly as fuck. Even for a Scandinavian? What does that mean? I mean, the man sent a dick pic. He's confident with what he's got. He's happy with the tools he's working with. Yeah? The man can put up a shelf. He's ready to go. He's all right. He's letting it loose. Letting it all hang out. We started bouncing that Norway isn't far from our part of Sweden. We could easily drive there and beat the shit out of him, but of course we're gamers and nothing like that was ever going to happen. Yeah, I'd turn up, mate, and I'd pull out my fucking... I'd take my Heelys off, right? I'd take my Heelys off and I'd like pop the wheel out and I'd fucking kibosh him right on the face, mate. Put my Heelys on and slide away. I would slide away. He'd never have a fucking clue what was going on, mate. I'd bosh him in the back of the head. I'm gonna have to do the rest of the show now with one shoe on. Fuck me. The funny thing about all this story is that only the inner circle of the guild knows about it. Oh, God. What have you put me into? Are they listening? I am not in the inner circle of the guild. Which means that the ones who know all of this don't know that I know what they know. The reason that they don't know that I have all this information is that they were unaware that me and Halix are friends in the real world. I never brought any of the drama up and kept raiding. I still wanted my loot. I raided for a couple of weeks after this incident. Yusha and Lion are now getting a divorce. In terms of raiding, we tried to go into mythic raiding before I left, but Lion started crying at the pressure of healing mythic Rathian. F. Brought to tears by mythic Rathian. Brought to tears. She later on messaged us that she will not be raiding mythic with us anymore as it is too elitist. What a surprise, I thought. I quit the guild some weeks after all of this and managed to do 5 out of 12 mythic Nyalotha. Is that Hive Mind they're stuck on? 6 out of 12? Or is it football? It's football, right? It's football or Hive Mind. 6 for 6. Before taking another break until the Shadowlands. I haven't heard from Yusha for quite some time now, and I genuinely hope he's doing well. You think it's football? Depends on the wing. Oh, you did have choices then, yeah. Mythic Rathian brings me to tears too. It's just the idea of standing still for so long. Looking back at all of this, I should have seen the red flags immediately. I did. Chat did. The first thing I was told joining this guild was to never bring up relationship drama and that the raid leader's wife had been cheating on him. Oh well, it's all in the past now. I still play with Halix occasionally, but I haven't heard from Yusha in a very long time. I went huge dick in the beginning of Shadowlands with gearing, but ultimately after Heroic Danny was slain, my guild fell apart. I quit shortly after since Shadowlands was mega dog shit. I'm really excited for Dragonflight, and I plan on playing a mage or an evoker if it's any fun, and if it means that I can look like Spyro, my childhood hero. I'm not... Thank you for reading this little story, Preacher, and I hope it makes it to drama time. And to everybody listening, have a good weekend. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And congratulations for staying well out of the drama. Congratulations to you. Wonderful. Okay. Let's have another. That was a longie, but let's go for another. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Let's go with... Oh, yeah. Let's go here. Yeah, lovely story. That was good. I like a story where the author is not involved in the drama at all. Just looking on with all the smugs in the world from the back. Thank you, Yusha. No thanks to you, Lionheart. Moondog. Moondog, welcome. Boosted Panda Baby. Why would you boost a panda? They got like a free level every fucking day, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure... Did pandas get like a free level every day? Do they still get that? I think they did. Okay. Here we go. Oh, Monk did, not Panda. Okay. Hello, Preacher. This is the first time ever writing to you for Drama Time. I want to share with you all my tale of how I started WoW as a level 90 boosted panda. Gross. Absolutely gross. Of course, this tale begins at the arse end of Mists of Pandaria, where my best friend Moondog invited me to play this game with a bunch of panda people, where players stand around AFK on low polygon status symbols. For me, a real gamer, I came from the only real man's background, Battlefield 4, while I would roleplay as an actual degenerate by packing dirt bikes with C4 and ramming them into the enemy tanks. and watching the pretty fireworks. So my first reaction to looking at World of Warcraft was, no, mate, lulz, that game is fucking dying and shit, mate. I ain't playing no Kung Fu Panda cartoon game, mate. I maintained this stance for a solid 30 minutes as he kept trying to convince me, until he showed me some of the best promotional material I've ever seen. The Warlords of Draenor cinematic. Smart. That's really smart. As confirmed, we did confirm it on the stream last week, Mists of Pandaria has the objectively worst trailer, including vanilla, of any WoW expansion. Including vanilla. Immediately, I wanted to know more, and after our BF4 game was over, I went on YouTube to find out more and fell over the Lords of War series. And I tell you, Preacher, I was hooked before I'd even touched the game. The very next day, I laid out the dollary dues to get myself a copy of Warlords of Draenor. I logged in and asked Moondog what class I should use my level 90 boost on. He wisely said to me, "You should level some classes that look interesting to you, up to level 50 and then boost the rest of the way, so you get a hang of how they play and how the game works." I thought about this for a moment and replied, "Yeah, whatever, mate, but like, what is the easiest to play?" I suppose a hunter. They have a pet. So my 14-year-old brain put 2 and 2 together. Pet equals easy, interesting equals better performance. So I make myself a Blood Elf male warlock. Dipshit. Because in my mind, warlocks also have a pet, but hunters are boring. Therefore, warlock must be an easy class and cool. That's big brain. That's some big brain shit right there. Explains how THD got to where he is. That's good stuff. Thumbs up, pal. Looking back, I am damn glad that I followed my dumbass logic, because warlock was actually the class for me. He actually liked it. Good lad. The first thing I do after logging in is keybind all my hotbars. And I do mean all of them. I actually ran out of my usual Battlefield keybinds, so I started applying things to things that made sense in my brain, but not with my hands. I had some combinations like Alt-5 and Control-H. You might be wondering, what was the reasoning for this madness? Well, I had been doing my research like a god gamer, and the first beginner guide I found on YouTube said that only the plebs don't bind. Is my video, isn't it? At no point during any of my guides have I ever recommended someone bind something to Control-H. I want that on record. I have done key binding videos, and none of them contain that level of information, okay? I've done many key binding videos. I watched a guy on YouTube tell me that only plebs don't bind their spells, and their second video I watched was someone giving a resume of what all the classes were. And he said that Warlock had lots of buttons. So I took their advice. My hotbars look like a Ouija board with nothing but Shadow Bolt and Summon Imp on them. So wait, did you keybind all the empty boxes? Oh my god, you fucking clown. You put a load of action bars on with a brand new class and just keybinded all the empty boxes for future use. That's some future proofing right there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, something important that my friend Moondog had forgot to tell me was that WoW is a tab target game. Meaning that you press tab to... What research did you do? You didn't notice that? You noticed key binding, action bars, and spell quantities, but never noticed that it was tab target. I did not find out about this until Shadowlands. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, sweet Jesus. He's talking specifically about pressing tab to change targets. He's not trying to like skill shot things. He's specifically saying he didn't know you could press tab to target things. He clicked every single target. And the reason he did this was because in my frenzy of creating the keybinds I thought would make sense, I made things like shift tab, control tab into keybinds. So I had nothing bound to target nearest enemy. Holy fucking God. Like, there's no game developer in the world who can account for that level of preposterity, right? It's so preposterous that, like, there's no way we can account for that. There's no pop-up on the screen that's going to tell you not to do that because it's just so insane that you would do that before you'd even started playing. I never even thought about it because I had a 14-year-old shooter brain and I would never miss a nameplate. He's so good at clicking from playing Battlefield that he would never miss a nameplate. This is probably why I never got any good at PvP, despite becoming so good at PvE. Anyways, after my keybinding spree, I ran around Eversong killing mana worms and doing the simple quests until I discovered that I hate questing. I'm like so bad at it. Unimaginably bad. It took me a good 20 minutes to find out that the blood elf you have to kill on the floating platforms was actually on the platforms and not in an underwater cave or dead and hadn't respawned. This would constantly happen with the most basic of WoW quests. After I hit level 11, I had gotten fed up and logged out in anger and boosted my warlock to 90. No. Oh, I'm bad at level 10 questing. Should boost to endgame. That'll fix it. All sorted now, guys. All fixed up. I whispered Moondog, telling him what I'd done, with the message, I ain't into all that, like, dumbass baby leveling shit, mate. I am here to do them raids you was talking about. He called me an idiot and told me they should do at least some dungeons before getting into a raid. I reluctantly agreed to do this pussy content. And we queued into Gate of the Setting Sun. Before my boosted ass had even loaded in, our main monk tank had pulled half the fucking dungeon. I died to an AoE trying to catch up. I rezzed, died again. This repeated for the entire dungeon. After the shit show had subsided, Moondog sternly told me, please go and do some fucking quests because you are dog at this game, bro. It stung. It stung to be humbled so much by a video game. I had massive kill streaks in Battlefield 4. And to be fair, Moondog was correct. I was trash. Even though I had really keybinded everything I could find. You are really relying on these keybinds to prove your worth. I went to bed that night battered, broken, and sad. I woke up the next day with renewed vigor, though. I logged on to WoW and decided that Warlock was probably why I was failing. Probably a dog shit class, that's what it is. Bex, this is so hard to read. You've done this to torment me. This is horrible. And so, I decided that I would buy another 90 boost. Because I still wasn't prepared to level like a kid. And boosted myself a Tauren Paladin. Since tanks didn't die, is one thing I had noticed. Oh, Blizzard loves you. Just churning money out like a fucking vomit. I named him Holy Cow, laughing to myself as I did it. Funny enough, after my amazing and funny idea had been materialized, I logged onto what I declared as my brand new main character. I would take Moondog's advice and picked up a random quest in the Temple of the Two Moons. I didn't know what to do with it, and it wasn't giving me any direction. I even googled the name of the quest, but nothing. Except a Wowhead link. I was frustrated at all this reading. So I thought, fuck it, I'll just do a dungeon. Tanks are broken anyway, so just look at what the tank did yesterday. So I queued up as a tank. It was Gate of the Setting Sun again. I was familiar, and it made me confident. This was to be my new main character. So I did what the monk did. Charged into every pack, spamming the buttons. Died. Again. And what the enhancement shaman in the group wrote in the chat will be forever ingrained into my memory. And I quote, "Oh my fucking god, another booster!" I bravely alt F4'd out of shame and loaded up Battlefield 4 with watery eyes. I would never touch that paladin again until Legion. But I wasn't done. 2 days later, I came back to the game thinking, fuck it. I'll do it proper. I'll make a female Blood Elf Hunter. Because Moondog had told me that Hunter was the easiest classed. I bought myself another 90 boost. And yes, you're probably thinking why, but I did spend all of my summer allowance on level 90 boosts. Third time's a charm, I thought. I logged into what would 1,000% be my brand new main. And I vowed not to do any group content until I was good enough. So I started learning about exotic pets, daily quests, mount farming, which I did for a little over a week until I got bored of my hunter. The fancy of being some Legolas lame wannabe wasn't for me. It just looked too feeble and weak. I went back to the Warlock, and I grew to love it. The Warlock would now be my main. 100%. Confirmed. I remember being so excited to come home from school every day to play my little Blelf Warlock with his radical sideburns. While farming mounts and doing dailies, I would start spamming watching beginner guides and anything else WoW related I could get my hands on. Which is when I found this bald-ass British guy on YouTube who had a Destruction Warlock guide. Stop laughing, you fucker. I ate it up. I tried to copy what he was doing, trying to play exactly like he was, even though his keybinds were horrific. Go and fuck yourself. Honestly, go to fuck yourself. After watching some more of his videos, it inspired me massively to get better at the game and taught me what it means to get good. I don't really think I can thank you enough for how much your guides helped me over the months. This is the guide in question. Oh god, this is going to be horrible. When is this from? Was it Miss of Pandaria? All right. $5.4. All right.
Holla ballers! What's going on? It's Preacher, and I'm finally able to bring to you patch 5.4, the Destruction Warlock. The meatiest class, and I say class, the Warlock is...
I don't like it. Don't you dare. Oh, come on. It's cringe, man. No, it's cringe as fuck. It's cringe as fuck. It's so... What a shit UI. What do you mean? What a shit UI. Haters. You absolute haters. It's perfect. My UI is golden, okay? It's golden. I will not be dissuaded. It's golden. Shit keybinds. You're listening to a guy who had Shift Tab as a keybind. Shut up. Link here in the chat. There you go. There you go. It's there. Before WoD, I did get a lot better, relatively speaking. I started clearing heroic dungeons without dying. I started doing LFR for gear as well as farming mounts with Moondog's guild, where we would do BGs and old raid meta achievements, which was my first encounter with deliberately doing mechanics in WoW. I loved those runs. I honestly think that it's here I developed a keen interest in actually getting better to do real content on the current raid. I'd even begun progging the Green Fire quest, even though I was too bad to clear. Aww. But there was nothing I wanted more than that sweet, sweet Green Fire. I tried all pre-patch, but alas, I wouldn't get my Green Fire until Mists of Pandaria. Because November the 13th, 2014 had rolled around, and Warlords of Draenor was here. And we all chewed through the amazing leveling zones despite the massive number of bugs and being stuck in a garrison lagfest for 4 hours before escaping into Frostfire Ridge. The first thing I did when I dinged in the Grand was go back and kill Canrathad and get my Green Fire. I was so proud of myself for finally killing him even though I was overleveled. As a guild, we would do the newly added mythic dungeons together and slowly gear up over the months. I would even manage to kill normal Kargath and Butcher in LFG. Pre-LFR. Skipping ahead until the release of Blackrock Foundry, our guild had imploded because our guild masters, the girlfriend and boyfriend, had a fight in guild chat. You spotting a theme? They've been talking about who was setting up the next event, which had escalated into a heated couples argument, which ended in the boyfriend quitting the guild, and some members left with him. A few weeks after Moondog and most of the other guildies quit the game due to the content drought, which left me all alone on a dead realm in the middle of Draenor. But I wanted to raid, and raid I would. I would later go on to get 3, nearly 4 cutting-edge achievements in a top 250 guild, as well as multiple rank 3s through 5s through the tier 18 and 19 before quitting WoW after our guild fell apart. But this is all a story for another day. Thank you for living this journey with me, my guys. And I hope you enjoyed my little newbie story. We did. Shift tab, Control H. Unbelievable. It is time for me to say goodbye for today. I love you and leave you. I have an interesting task tonight of taking care of a friend's child. So I have to go and do that. I have to go and take part in that. But we will be back as soon as we possibly can. It'll probably be Monday, where hopefully we can have a rap fiesta and have some good fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, from us here, have a great weekend. Do something fun. And I will see you all very, very soon. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.